Oh dear God, Jesus Christ, hold me, hide your children, the Bastion buff is coming. How's it going? Toofty here, and today I've got a video where we're going to talk a little bit about, maybe speculate about the upcoming changes to Bastion in Overwatch. So I watched a speculation video about this the other day and it was really interesting, but there was a few things that weren't quite covered that I thought were interesting, some ideas that I had. So yeah, just to kind of get you up to speed, Jeff Kaplan mentioned that he would be making some tweaks to Bastion. He responded to some kind of comment on a forum or something, and it's fairly obvious that he's not probably being picked enough. Maybe more so in the lower level games, probably less so as you get to gold and upwards. Now, to begin with, let's be honest, it's probably going to be like, oh, let's increase his health by 10% or something really boring like that. But that's not what this video is about. This video is more about semi-realistic speculation. Just thinking about a couple of ideas that I think are, potentially realistic. The changes they made to Symmetra, those were mental. I was not expecting that. The shield she can throw, bonkers. I kind of want to talk about that in a separate video. I don't actually like that. It's a bit, feels weird. It feels a bit misplaced in the world of Overwatch. But anyway, he's not being picked a lot. He suffers from this problem where at very lower tier games, he's probably picked quite a bit because he's a fairly easy character to kind of get your head around and use, and he can do a ridiculous amount of damage. But as soon as you figure out how to counter him, he's picked a lot less. So it's going to be very difficult for them to improve him in a way that doesn't break him on those lower level games. So I think the key thing would be to do is obviously not increase his damage, not increase his health, but increase something that takes a bit more skill. So only those more skilled players can kind of utilize that buff, if you see what I mean. The only time you do see him in kind of more pro level games is kind of, I've heard to it being referred to as the surprise Bastion. You get him out for a quick round, you sneak him around a corner somewhere, you can do a bunch of damage, but as soon as you know he's there, dead easy to counter. So is there anything that would make him a little bit more useful? I have to say I'd love to hear what you guys think as well, so please comment below. Let me know if there are any interesting ideas you have in ways in which we can do this. So we'll kind of go through all of his abilities and all of the things you can buff, if you like, without going into absolutely brand new weapons or abilities or anything like that. So to begin with, damage. That's not going to be touched. You'd hope not anyway. I mean, it's off the chart as it is already. So that should be left as it is. Shield and health, again, I'm not too sure. You could do something there. I think it would be less, an outright buff to his health or anything like that. It'd be more to do with being shielded, for example, whilst you're constructing yourself or deconstructing yourself. Maybe then you're more protected, so it gives you a chance to escape. Because that's the problem, once someone's locked onto you, you're super vulnerable and you go down really quickly. Not that I play a lot of him, but when I have, that's what happens to me at least. So I think there are little nuanced tweaks you could make like that could actually make it really interesting. I think mobility is in general a really interesting topic to talk about. Obviously, when he's in a turret, he shouldn't be able to move, that makes sense. When he's not in a turret, he's super slow, and that could be frustrating. For me, it'd be really interesting to see him be able to quite quickly make a getaway. I think that's the one problem. He's so slow at making a getaway that once you find him, he's dead. A sniper, a Farah, very easy to take him out. But if there was a way for him to make a kind of a quick getaway, like I said, maybe he's buffed whilst deconstructing, maybe a slight tweak to his speed or something like that, that could be really interesting. I can't actually imagine them making any change to his speed, but you never know. I think it would just make him more fun to play, and obviously that's the most important thing. You could actually even change his construction speed itself, instead of, or as well as kind of giving him a bit of a shield as he's doing that. You could make him construct a lot quicker, that could be interesting. It'd be nice to see him be able to flank round and really quickly get a surprise attack on the enemies and then quickly run out again. Maybe that's not what he's meant for, but it's definitely interesting to consider. Now obviously he used to have a ridiculous shield up at all times a long time ago, and that was actually taken away, so I can't see them adding that back in. But if they were to do something crazy like that, one thing I thought of was actually adding that as like something you actually click and hold, a bit like D.Va, so you can temporarily, when a sniper's spotted you, you can temporarily shield that and then hold it down for a second and then escape. But that does sound far too much like D.Va, and you wouldn't want an ability to be too similar to another hero. So again, I don't really see that happening, but it was something I thought about, and I thought that was kind of interesting as well. Now, I don't play him a lot, like I said, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like his self-repair could be one of the things that they could maybe make some tweaks on. I find that I don't use it much because like I said, it's kind of, the damage comes in so quickly, it's kind of just too late to be faffing about with your self-repair. You just want to get out there. Obviously a little bit of trickly damage, some splash damage, and it's just a tiny bit. Yeah, sure, self-repair yourself. But it might be interesting to think of that more of a really powerful ability where you can actually, whilst you're self-repairing, maybe again you're shielded, or maybe it repairs super quickly and then it has a cooldown or something like that. I don't know. It just feels like it's not being used as much as perhaps some of the other abilities in the game. So a tweak there could be really interesting. Again, I'd love to hear what you guys think about that. The only other thing I haven't really covered is his ult, but to be honest, I think this is pretty much good as it is. I've never heard of anyone having any problems with it. It's pretty terrifying. Everyone runs away as soon as they see the tank coming towards them. You can do a ton of damage. It's actually one of my least favourite ults. I don't know why. Him and Roadhog's thing, I don't know. It doesn't feel very exciting. I don't know. But at the same time, it's kind of cool. It does its job. And if we saw him in the game more, we'd see that ult a lot more. So yeah, that's all good. But I don't know. I'd love to hear what you guys think. I mean, it's a tricky one because he can be very frustrating to play against. But at the same time, he's clearly not being picked enough. So something has to be done. And what are they going to do? Nobody knows. But yeah, like I said, the key is that whatever tweak they do make, it's kind of skill related, if you see what I mean. So it's not just an outright buff to kind of damage your health where, you know, if you're less experienced, you can just sit there and still reap the benefits. It's more if you know what you're doing and you know when to use whatever buff it is to your advantage. In that case, you know, it can help you loads and it can help skilled players use him really efficiently. So yeah, I would love to hear what you guys think. Bit of a random video today. Just something I had on my mind and I wanted to get off my chest. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.